Hi there, guys. We're just gonna do the last bit here of the project. So what I want you to do is pretty much assign materials. You know how to paint now, but I'm gonna quickly go through the thing that you have to do when you're painting. But mostly it's about assigning materials, adding lights, and rendering. Pretty much that's what we're gonna cover here. So let me load up one of my projects. So I'm just gonna load up here. Where has it gone? Let's have a look. I think it went to the other screen. Yeah. I'm gonna go into my F revamp jack. They modify. I think it's this one. And I'm just gonna load this up here. And I'm gonna hit edit, and I have this. I have this horror material, color gray. I'm gonna put a little bit of perspective so I can get this. I'm gonna frame it, and we're pretty much ready to go. Let me show you here. What do we have? Thing. I don't need this. I need only this. Yeah. I think that's it. I need this. Yeah. So I pretty much got this model. Okay, and this model is, let's say this model is ready to animate. You're gonna paint it. You know how to paint, but we're gonna showcase a little bit how to. Let me show as well the claws. Yeah, I'm gonna show the claws. What else do I have here? Yeah, I got teeth. I got mouth. So let me see. Yeah, I got all the stuff in here. This model is ready to read apologize, but I'm not gonna do that because it's not thing I'm gonna be doing. So pretty much what you have to do is, once you have your character, you go per object and you start assigning the material. For example, like let's start with the eyes. Okay, just gonna solo the eyes. Okay, just gonna do that, and I'm just gonna, you know how to do this. If you wanna fill it out with color, then this is what happens when you don't have the color assigned. Every time you move the color here, it just updates into this, and it updates as well into any that you have, unless you have color. I think this one hasn't got color. I think those already got color filled in, but if you go to this one, you see this one hasn't got color, this one has got color. Okay, so pretty much if you keep changing the color here, it will keep changing here. So you need to have like a base to start with. So you go here, all the way to white, and then you are going to color. You're gonna go, you just make sure you got this one to 100% and this one in color. So you're gonna actually now fill color. I like to do it one at a time. You can actually fill both things, color and material, but just start with color and then material. So I'm going to color, and I'm gonna hit the button fill object. I'm just gonna click this button here. I'm just gonna close this, and I'm gonna go into color. I'm gonna click in this little icon on the side, and then I'm just gonna drag it so I don't have to go and open every time. So again, like I said, if you change color here, it keeps changing for everything. So we don't want that, okay? So we want to go white and then fill this with white. 100% white, color, fill object. So you see now when we change the color, nothing changes in the viewport. Okay, so now let's go and change the material to this. I think we're gonna have to use the toy plastic that I mentioned before. All the way to 100%, I think it doesn't matter here because it's material. And then we hit material and you say fill object. So now when you go to a different material, you can see it doesn't change. The other ones change because this one hasn't been filled, okay? So let's go back to gray material, and you can see that the eyes, this one has, oh, because this one got the eyes. Okay, so in this case I'm gonna hide this guy, but I'm gonna show the other, I got this, I got this one. Oh, this one has got this, the eyes. Let's just go one with the eyes and one without this. Let's do this. Let's gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep it because I got this one separate. You can see they're separate. Yeah, look. But I'm gonna keep it like that so we can see the eyes separately in different material, because this one has the eyes all built in. Look, built in here. Let me zoom in so you can see. This is, I'm about to read. Well, you see they're all connected here. Look, they're all connected. But we're not gonna do that because we're gonna use this one. Okay, which this one. If you solo, you can see, I can see now the eyes. The eyes go on the material. Now if we go to the tone, and I solo the tone, then let's make the tone with the same material. Let's fill it out with a little bit of red, like this. I'm gonna go into color, fill object, see red, and let's change the material now to the same, toy plastic, to make it look, you know, like wet. And again, with material on, we fill object. Now, we don't solo that, you can see now that this material, don't worry about that this for now. Okay, you can see that the eyes, the teeth as well, they haven't been filled. So that's why every time I change the color here it changes, but you know that already. So let's make it sort of yellowish, I suppose. You need to, you remember, I'm filling the base color. You need to paint all the strands, all the things, all the imperfections, and all those elements that make it look good. So at the moment, I'm just gonna put it like this. So I'm gonna put a little bit of yellow color like that, and I'm gonna fill it with color, and then I'm gonna fill as well the material. So I go material now, the toy plastic, because that's make it that wet look, and then fill object. You can see now the teeth, the tongue, and all that is filled. Okay. I'm going to fill this element now with, I'm gonna go for just the gray sort of material, and I'm just gonna go material, fill object, and if I want to change the color, so I'm gonna make it look like this color, for example. Then I'm gonna fill RGB and then fill object, so you can have the character with that sort of color, something like that, a little bit better. Okay. And I'm gonna fill these ones as well. This one are separate here with the same color. Fill object. See, fill object. And I'm gonna leave the claws like that. Okay, just gonna leave it like that because I just wanted to show you that you can actually fill materials in color. If you're having things that are metal, then, for example, let's say that we wanna make the claws sort of metallic. So we select the claws and we select a metal material, for example. We fill the material with that. You can see they have this sort of look. You're using things like skin, color, I don't know, things like leather, plastic and stuff like that. You can use material. For metallic, use the metal, or the metallic. For things that are wet like that, just use the toy plastic. So now that we have this, okay, so we can sort of give you like a test render. So I'm gonna close this here, quickly there, okay, and I'm gonna show you how to render this, because at the moment we have just this, but let's we know that we have perspective at the moment, so make sure you got perspective, otherwise if you don't have perspective everything looks too flat, so that doesn't look very nice. So just keep it with a little bit of perspective like this. You can tweak the perspective here. If you go into draw, you uncheck this because this is the focal length for camera that you import, so you can use this focal length, and then you just put this down to, I don't know, about 30. Okay. And then if we hit render, we hit this button here called BPR, which is best preview render. So you hit there and it runs it. You can see the create shadows and everything looks smoother. If you hit the floor button, which is here, okay. Once you hit BPR, then it actually mimics shadows on the floor as well. You can see there, look, because we put a floor in there. Now, if you want to get rid of this background, it's easy. You just go into document. I think it's this document. You can see here this range. You can change it. Look, you can change it here. And you can as well change a different color. If you click and drag here, you can choose the background color from anything you put the icon on. So all you have to do is document, change the range, and then click and drag without letting go. And you can see it picks up the color of the UI. If you have an image, it will pick it up as well. So you can choose that if you want. You can actually go here and say, well, I want a different color. I want something like, I don't know, something opposite, bluish, I don't know, something like that. I don't know, whatever. But for now, I'm just gonna give it gray. And then we hit again BPR. And then you can see that we have a nice render there, okay? I think we have that. Let's do this. Okay, again. And this is what we have. We have this render, okay? So you paint your materials, you got everything in place. Now, this won't go a single light at the moment. If you go here into lighting, you can see that this light is, you see this little yellow dot here, that's what roughly the direction of the light is. So you can, if you want to change direction, you just put it on a little bit on the side like this. You say you're going to be lighting the character from this angle. So when you hit render, now the shadow will be towards this angle like this. Okay, a bit too much now, but you can see that it's a little bit more towards the front. Hit BPR. Okay. And then we can change the lighting. Okay, this lighting is gonna be very simple, guys. So you can have one light here, and then you can probably give it this, I don't know, some sort of warmth, a little color like this. Okay, with that light. Okay, and then you can add an extra light here. But you're clicking on this light, you see you create this little button in there, so you can put another one here, and then that one you can make it, I don't know, a little bit bluish like this. So you will have now two lights. Okay, so you go here, light, you can see you got one light on this side. If you click here, you see that light is warm. See where the red dot is. The other one you click, you create another one here with a blue. You can change the intensity, you can make this one, I don't know, brighter. And then if we hit BPR, so now we will have two lights, one from here and one from here. Okay, you can see this one a little bit of blue on the side. I think it's very subtle, but it's okay. I don't want you to guys put crazy amount of light. If you put one or two light, that's fine by me. So you go here, and let's go and click on this one. You can increase the intensity as well of this one, see if it works. So let's do VPR again. You can see there's a little bit of blue casting on this side, very subtle, but that's a bit fine. You can put it like that. Let's see like that and see what it looks like. Okay, I think it's not much, but that's okay. Like I said, guys, I don't want you to, to invest too much time on this. I think this is only for showcasing your piece, so it's fine. Okay, so you can put it around here or something. Okay, then you can increase the ambient intensity with this as well to make it look a little bit brighter. Just play around with that stuff. You can manipulate shadows and things like that, but this is just very limited, so I'm not gonna go through that because it's not really useful for us at this stage. You're gonna be able to work with better renderers in the future, or like Unreal Engine or Unity. For that, this is just very simple. So anyway, we got this. You got the materials, you got the colors. Let's say that you paint all this. Now you wanna render it. Now, if you wanna render this, what you have to do, you have to go here into the section that says Movie, and you need to go through this setting to render this particular project. So I want you to change from window to document, so it records only this screen. Or if you keep it in window, it records everything, including the UI. So you go here into movie, document, make sure that it's large so you can get good quality. Okay. Now we need to go through the modifier section, and in modifier we need to change the playback speed to 24 frames per second. Okay. Then here I need you to increase the number of frames from 180 to 240, which means 140-ish, which means that you will have 240 to do a whole spin, which is going to be 10 seconds. So this is going to spin 10 seconds. It's going to take this character to render in a circle completely like that. Okay, so we go here, movie, document, large, 24 frame, 240 frames in total. 24 frames per second, that's here. And then here we need to go into these two sections, overlay image and title image. So when we go into overlay image, make sure that this is back to 0, which this means when you start if you don't put this one like that, what happens is that every time when you record, you will have the logo ZBrush at the beginning of the animation. You don't want that. Well, I don't like that. So title image, make sure that they fade in and fade out as well for the logo. So you don't have anything, no logos. And then what you have to do after that is very important, because if you render like this, if you hit the button movie and you say turntable, see it does it very nicely. See very quickly. Make sure you frame this better. So, but you can see that it's very fast because it's rendering the viewport as it is. Okay, you see the viewport it hasn't been sort of, there's no shadows, nothing. It's just as it is. So what happened is, it's rendering just the viewport. Okay, you can see that it gave 240 frames, exactly one turn of 360 degrees. So if you go into movie and you hit the button play movie, you can see here, look, a preview. So this is your movie. Okay, if you don't like that, before you record another one, you go here, you delete it. You have to delete it. Otherwise, if you do that, then you add to that movie at the end, to whatever you have already been recorded. So you delete that. So save record and say no. And then you pretty much clear the queue, and then you don't have to do it again. So I'm gonna put it here, Okay, but now remember what happened. He did it pretty quickly because he didn't have any shadows. But if you want to have your final, guys, to get the shadows and all that, you need to hit this button first. Once you hit that button, okay, then you have the render, and then from then on, then you go into movie, and then you hit turntable. You see how it's going to take longer. So it's going to render frame per frame. It's going to hit one frame, and it's going to start spinning. You can see. So it's going to take a little bit of time for this. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to wait the whole thing, but you can see that this one here goes frame by frame, and he start recording every frame with the BPR section on. If you don't do that, then you will only have the viewport, and you will not have the colors and properly and the shadows, and it will not look very nice in the edges as well, because it's not being rendered. It's only been previewed in the viewport, so it's going to have that limitation. So if you want to actually make use of the colors and the lights and all that to make it look nice, then what you have to do is you have to actually hit the BPR button, then do the turntable. Okay. So if you want to stop this, all you have to do is press escape. Okay, you can see that it goes back to this, and you can see that if I go here into movie and I hit the button play movie, it gives me a little bit because I cancelled it, but you can see that the quality is much better. Now if I hit this like this without the BPR, look what happened. I got movie and I hit turntable. It does it, okay, but it's not doing it with the shadows, and it adds to the final turntable. So if you want, you can create 3-4 different angles and then add them all together if you want. I don't mind, but the minimum for the requirement is you have to submit this as in 180 20 or whatever, a whole 10-second turntable. That's fine by me. So you go here, you can see if I play movie, it does the beginning and then continue with the other one with the one that we actually added at the end. So if you put it from a different angle like this, okay, and then you go into movie and then you hit record again, turntable, then it does the turntable and it adds to whatever you have, and then it will be 3 pieces of 3 different cuts. Okay, again, remember that these appear like that because I haven't hit the BPR button. If I hit the BPR button, then it does it for me, but it will take longer and it will have much better quality, and that's what I want from you guys. So you can see now that we're going to have 3 streams together in a single image, in a single movie file. So you go here, play movie, the one we cancel, the last one we did total with the whole 360. Okay. And as well, the new one, which is the one we created at the end. So once you have that, then you just have to go into movie, hit this button, which is export highest quality, and then you hit export, and then you just save it. It's an MPEG movie. That's it. Once you save it, give it to me like that. I don't want you to. If you want, you can convert it to an MP4 if you want, but it's not necessary. So save it, and that's it. That's what you have to do. That's gonna be your submission. You're gonna have to upload this to YouTube and put the link in your submission when you submit into the OneDrive. Okay. So that's it, guys. This is pretty simple. You see. Something that you can do in 20-30 minutes. That's why I told you do not worry about this. Just focus on actually making it look good, the character, the concept, and then the rendering and all this is pretty simple. I don't want anything out of the ordinary because this is just year 1, semester 1. So I don't want you to get worried about that. But make sure that it looks nice. The character is nice, good proportion, good detail, good design, and then this is going to be your first character. The next character is going to start getting much better because you're going to have more knowledge of the software and you're going to know how to tackle it. Because now this is a message you were just learning the tools, okay? So that's it for now, guys. That's all you have to do. Just save it and then you're done. And then when you close, you can just delete the movie and then record more movies if you want. But that's fine. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. All right, see you around then. Bye-bye.